raise your hand if your sex drive has been personally victimized by contest prep.
Hey guys, it's Ilana and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about how dating on contest prep is actually the freaking worst. I'm going to share a little bit of my experiences while dating on contest prep and what you can do to kind of help the situation. New to my channel, welcome. I post new videos every Monday and sometimes on Friday. I talk about me being a single girl, navigating the dating world, and my experiences being a single chick, and also sharing my experiences on my journey of prepping for a bikini competition. So if you are single and you're a bikini competitor, or if you're single and you're interested in bikini competitions, or whatever the case may be, hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell and join the kitten squad. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I will start off by saying that I have been avoiding dating like the plague since I have started this prep, which means I started this journey late March and have not gone on a single date since I started my bikini competition prep. I'm gonna explain 3 stories to you on why it was so difficult. So when I was prepping for my first competition, I was such a serial dater. I went out with 3 different dudes between January and February, which was leading up to my show. Dating all 3 of those guys and going on all these dates was exhausting and really hard. With this first guy, oh, he was so cute. He owned a motorcycle and he was just all around really nice and good looking. The first date led to drinks, and this can be a huge problem. So at the time, my coach was allowing me to have at least 1 glass of wine per week. So I felt like I was okay enough to get a drink. Now with this prep and this coach, I do not drink at all, not even a glass of wine. And oh my God, Elsa, stop moving everywhere. I'm gonna take my cat's collar off really quick. Just grabbing drinks is going to be really difficult, especially with this being the norm of dating in San Francisco, where you're constantly getting a drink for your first date, which isn't really even a date in my opinion. I would now challenge guys to be like, hey, let's go get coffee instead. So if I were to get a date while I'm on prep, I would rather get coffee as a first date. Even though I haven't experienced this yet, I've done it with other guys when I wasn't on prep, and they were pretty understanding about it, of me just not wanting to grab alcohol that quickly. So just explain to them, like, listen, I can't drink right now, I'm training for a competition, let's get coffee instead. That can be a great way to kind of still go on dates if you're competing. That way you're still doing a fun activity where you get to break the ice with someone, and you can enjoy something that you can actually have while you're competing. Coffee is a big yes on prep. You can have coffee, totally fine. Just be mindful of what you're putting in it. When you're dating and competing at the same time, it can be like a really good conversation to talk about. So I can tell you, all 3 guys that I went out with were so hooked and invested about me prepping for a bikini competition. They wanted to know everything about it. They had so many questions. It was literally me just doing all the talking the whole entire time on these dates because they just wanted to learn more. So keep that in mind. There are definitely some benefits when you are dating on contest prep, is that it's a great topic to talk about, and it keeps that conversation rolling and rolling and rolling. They're gonna find that really, really interesting. Back to this first guy. Nothing physical ever happened between him and I. In fact, he actually friend-zoned me, which was super sad. But on our second date, yes, we did have a second date. We went to go see The Greatest Showman. And going to the movies when you're about a month out from your show, oof, it's hard because you want popcorn. Now, I was on an if it fits your macros diet, so I barely ate that day just so I could have some popcorn that night. Now with my coach, I don't even really know what kind of diet I'm doing at the moment, but it's like a strict time planned out meal thing that I'm doing, and it's not if it fits your macros. So this wouldn't work for me right now, but back in the day it did. So anyway, I was able to have some popcorn and some water on this date, so it was somewhat enjoyable, but we were not talking because we saw a movie. But it was still a good time. We both enjoyed the movie, and he took me on his motorcycle there. I got to ride a motorcycle for the first time, which was really cool. I was really liking the guy, but told me that he just wasn't, it just wasn't fully there for him, and I was more of a friend to him, which was really unfortunate. So basically with this guy, I was still able to like enjoy myself and go out with a really awesome person who was really invested with wanting to go out with me and date me for the 2 dates that we went on. But you know, when it's not there, it's not there. So that was a very positive experience. Let's talk about some 2 negative experiences I've had while dating on contest prep. So it's funny, while I was still going out with guy number 1, I went out on a new date with a new guy when I was still kind of seeing this first guy, but he was out of town. And I didn't know when he would be back, and I was just gonna kind of assume like, okay, he's gonna forget about me. Like, you're going on vacation for 2 weeks, like, you're gonna forget about me. So I went on with a new guy, trying not to waste my time. And of course, guy number 1 came back, and that's when we went and saw a movie. So with guy number 2, it's actually one of my sister's old coworkers. And funny enough, we were not set up. We matched on a dating app, and it's funny, the conversation started off with him and his company and if he knew my sister. And then we went and we grabbed drinks. So again, you know, with the whole, I had a glass of wine when I went to see him. But we also went and saw like some indie rock band concert later that night. So that was a really fun activity. It was a really fun date overall, but there was just like no connection. And it's really exhausting to constantly talk about your prep experiences when you are on contest prep. As much as they want to hear about it, sometimes you just get really sick and tired talking about it. Let's fast forward after the concert. I had 1 glass of wine that night because that's all I could have, but it was also freezing that night. When you are a bodybuilder, you start to lose a lot of body fat. So while yes, it was really cold that night, me shedding all this weight off of me makes me even colder. And I was really broke at the time, and I wanted to call an Uber home because it was a little after midnight. Public transportation was just not gonna be an option to get me home. But I was too freaking broke to call an Uber. Like, this is how sad my life was at the time. I just wanted to figure out how the heck I was getting home that night. So he lived pretty close to the bar that we were at after the concert, and I said, listen, like, okay, I can go back to your place so I can figure out how to get home, and it was gonna keep me out of the cold. I had absolutely zero intentions of wanting to hook up with him that night. He felt like he was misleaded because I still went home with him, even though I clearly told him, okay, I'm gonna go to your house to get out of the cold and figure out how to get home. I was not even the least bit horny, the least bit interested in having sex that night. When you're cold and you're tired, you are eating a low-carb diet, your sex life just isn't there at all. He tried to make a move on me when I was sitting on the sofa talking to him, again, just trying to figure out how to get home. And he kind of like begged me to want us to spend the night with him, and I was just like, no. And he leaned in to try and kiss me, and I was just like, no. I felt bad because I wish I had explained to him, like, listen, my sex drive is really low. The thought of just kissing a guy that night was really exhausting. When you get deeper and deeper into your prep, your sex drive literally goes out the window. It doesn't exist. I will say right now, my sex drive is just like, it's okay, it's hanging by a thread. I think I would probably have enough energy to kiss someone right now, but to have sex with someone at the moment, I don't even want to think about it. It sounds like too much work. It sounds exhausting. And I know when I get closer and closer to my show, I am not gonna have even any kind of desire to even like kiss a person. That's just how it is, at least from me and my experiences. I just felt bad, like I had to turn him down. Like I couldn't bring myself to kiss him or to have sex with him just because it was just not there. And I wish I had explained that to him when I did, but I didn't. And I feel bad, but at the same time, I did also want to have sex with him regardless. So let's go to the last experience I had, which was a bit of a negative experience, but it was also, this one was on me. So with this guy, he was really nice. I was on a keto diet at this point. I was literally a week out from my show. I went on a date with a new guy. What was I thinking? So I was on a really, really strict keto diet. My coach said that I could eat cheese, so we went to a cheese and wine bar. Here I was, chatting away about me being a bikini competitor and my show, blah, 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 blah. And then I went off tangents about me hating my job, me hating my life. I was so negative. There's a very good reason as to why I never saw this guy again, because I was just way too negative on this date, so that wouldn't surprise me if he never wanted to go on a second date with me. That's okay. I had, I think, 2 glasses of wine that night. The second glass of wine, I was so tired. And we were at a very nice bar, one of my favorite bars to go on a date, the View Lounge. Check it out. When we were ready to leave, as we were walking back to like the BART station, he had said to me, well, you know, we can always go back to my place and watch a movie. And I said, that's so nice of you, but I'm just gonna go home tonight. Let's be real, guys. When a guy says like, oh, let's go home and watch a movie, like that just means, okay, let's go home and have sex. And I had to turn that down. I was just super polite about it. I was like, no, thanks for the invite, but I'm just really tired. I'm gonna go home. The date was fun, don't get me wrong. The reason I call this like a negative experience is just because of how negative I was and how I acted around this guy, and the fact that I just flat out rejected sex with this guy. And here's the thing, if I wasn't on prep, I would have definitely gone back to his place and slept with him 100%, because he was super cute and sweet. So long story short, if you are single and you're dating on contest prep, I definitely recommend you do it in the early stages of prep. That way you have a little bit of more room to kind of slip up and kind of enjoy sex and dating while you can, because as you get deeper and deeper into your prep, it does get hard. When your body is low on fat, it's low on energy, and that will affect your sex drive. Right now, I'm okay, but it is hanging on by a thread, and I have been avoiding dating like the plague. Even though I am going on dating apps, I am not putting a lot of effort into it, just because like I know I will be setting myself up for failure if I even try to remotely go on a date with a guy. I think it's really important that you're upfront with someone that you're going on a date with. If you're really low on your sex drive, and be like, listen, like, I'm not in a position to have sex with you right now. It's not fair to you if I'm not into it, and you can't enjoy it because I'm not having fun with you. Those are just kind of like my thoughts and my experiences of dating when I'm on contest prep. I hope you've kind of like learned something valuable from it, and that you kind of got like a laugh out of my crazy dating life from when I was on prep. And if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!